Every day, get competent, not complacent. There you go.
And bring them down, but that's where the true confidence lies. And I'm proving to myself that I'm that person, and I have confidence in myself that I can become who I want to become.
If you're a common McDonald's eater, you're a bum. Simple. Just write it down.
You're a winner, okay, but you're a millionaire winner where you want to be. You're not there yet. You're a winner, but you're not that winner.
And this,
my confidence levels then were so low because I had no trust in myself to that point.
that was the night that we had that conversation. I walked out of that gym and I knew I have to make it. There's no other option. I have to. Does someone want to go check? I think it is recording. This is a good question, boys. What do you think started like your journey? I'm sure you weren't born like this, and from the age of 8 you were like this. Do you know what I mean? So what actually was like that turning point in terms of, okay, I want to achieve more from life. I don't want to be average.
For my turning point, I believe my turning point was always anytime you want to do something, struggling financially, and I couldn't wrap my head around, like, when you're young, you don't really think about this sort of things, especially when your parents are paying for everything, your parents are doing everything for you. You don't have that sort of understanding yet, especially how none of us were born into a family where it's peak to that point where we know, oh, money. And money, realistically, for neither of us will ever like an issue to that point. That we, from a young age, we had to. So then I feel like as you start growing, you start to realize, and when you're like a teenager, you feel like you have time. Like when you're 14, 13, 15, feel like I've got so much time, like I still have to do school, still have to do this. I can wait until I do this. Nothing serious yet. And then you start getting to the ages of adult. Like we're all 18 now. And then you start getting to the adult ages and then you just deep. Rah. If I want to do something or become something in my life, I have to do it now. Because the more I wait, the longer it will take. And the longer it takes is just going to be more fucked up for me.
Like the longer you have to film that like classic adult life, the rat race,
the 9 to 5
I
sort
feel
of
like
thing.
actually like personally indulging myself in that has shown me that's not what I want for the rest of my life. That is not my dream, my aspiration. I'm sure very easily, I got very lucky on position. I'm sure very easily within the next 5-10 years I could climb the corporate ladder. But that means having to wake up 5 days a week at a set specific time, having to go to a set specific place, like essentially out of my own will, all just for money. And that's not what I want. I personally want the free will to do essentially what I want when I want, whether it's working on something for myself, working on something for a business, whether it's generating money, whatever. I just want to be working on my own timing. That's what's really pushes me and motivated me since like the ages like 16, 17 work. I can't like 16, 17 working was low-key lit. Like the jobs that I did, they were good fun. I enjoyed going to work, but ever since Vim, knowing we had to wake up early as fuck, we had to hop on a train, be in a specific place, and essentially just deal with higher up dickheads. That's what, fuck this. I want to be working on my own time. I want to be doing stuff when I want to, according to my plan, according to the day that I want to happen. I don't want to have to be told, oh, office 9 o'clock. You get me?
So did you not have that like? So did you not have that like one turning point? For example, for me, I think the moment that I knew I was gonna make it and that I decided I fully went all in, not all in, but like that after this one moment, I was like, okay, I have to go all in, and I'm gonna make it. And I had this delusional self-belief from that moment onwards. Was one time in the gym, I stayed. It was me and my mentor, one of my mentors at the time, Alan, and we stayed, and he was just telling me. I can't remember exactly the conversation, obviously, because this was 4 years ago now. Maybe 4 years ago, and but I walked out of that gym, and I was thinking to myself, if he went through all that, because he told me it was a life story, he used to teach me a lot of lessons.
Went through some mad shit, innit?
Yeah. So after that conversation, and it's literally, if you go on my highlights of me, it's the first highlight on that highlight of me with a crown, where it's mark my words, I'm gonna fucking make it.
Okay.
That was the night that we had that conversation. I walked out of that gym and I knew I have to make it. There's no other option. I have to. And that was like my like moment where I was like, okay, now I need to work. So, but then from what I'm hearing from you boys, was it just like a kind of build up over time where you got into it?
Like, I've always known I've been destined. But I know that sounds cocky. I know.
No, that's good. That's good.
I've always been destined for better than average. I've always had them dreams of doing something. Since fucking 13, I've been running the reselling thing. I've always been doing something else. I attempted to build like clothing brands. Oh, they were shit. I can look back at them. They were shit, but like I had that vision. I know I always wanted something more for myself. I didn't want corporate life. I like picking my GCSEs for example. I'm getting told, oh, this is what can shape and build your foundations for what you want to go into next. If you pick business here, you can go do business there. You understand what I mean?
No, but I think that's...
I never cared about that because I knew that's never what I wanted. I always knew I wanted to be independent with whatever I did. I didn't... Like, I care what it is, but I don't care to go work, you get me? And I don't care to be working for someone else. I want something for me. That's my main thing. I wouldn't say there was ever a turning point. It's just always been almost a natural thing that sat in my head. I've always just naturally told my mum, don't worry, I'm going to be rich one day, trust me. Like, I've never known how I'm going to get there.
But you believe it. And I think, and I think that's a huge vital part of actually becoming. You need to believe, and you need to actually wholeheartedly believe like you're destined for it. Like there's something that is, and you can feel it, and you'll know. Because I knew from a very early age, like I wanted to do something more in my life. Like even before I had that conversation with Alan, that conversation happened, that moment happened. I was trying things. I was doing my gym TikToks. They blew up. I was doing good. And I had people coming up to me going, oh, I love your content. Like, you really inspired me. And to this day, like this guy, we was on the phone yesterday. And, bro, when you said that I inspired you, that means so much to me. And obviously, I've heard that from other people as well. And I think that's what kind of drives me to do what I do. And ever since I've realized I have that ability, because I didn't think I had it. But then when the first time I heard it, it's like, Antosh, you're the one who inspired me to do this. You're the one who really motivated me to do this. And because of you, I'm doing this. Oh my days. That feeling, you know, that's the most fulfilling feeling. That is exactly what keeps me going. But
if anything, that makes you want more. That's
exactly.
Like, you're a role model. Or you gotta show people how it's done. You can, and you gotta live up to the name, live up to the expectations.
That's what it is, and it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing, isn't it? But going back to like, you have to, and I think that's why I talk a lot about confidence on my account, and just because I tend to always go back to the confident aspect, because you have to be confident in yourself. Of course. You have to be, but then you know what? How would you boys, and all transparency, because the 3 viewers I'm gonna get on this, us 3 watching this video, would you boys say you feel confident in yourself at this current moment? Because for me at least, I have moments where I feel really confident, but then I have times where I lack that confidence. Even if it doesn't show, sometimes I get in my own head, and I like that. But the question is, do you boys feel confident?
Personally, yes.
Okay.
I'd say it depends on the day, how things go.
Good.
It can vary.
Okay. Now I want you to dig a little bit deeper there. I want you to ask why. Because for example, me, I get my confidence from looking at my day, and being confident and being not proud. Pride and proudness is a dodgy thing, because it's a sin, right? Being prideful, it's a sin. But I feel like I accomplished something from the day, and that gives me confidence. If like, for example, that random day, I was doing a bit of revision, and I was like, I'm gonna go on a run, and I ended up running 21 kilometers, a half marathon.
Oh, big ups, man.
Yeah, appreciate that. But after that, man, that gave me like confidence. And I think confidence comes from being proud of what the way you live your life.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But
if you live your life as a bum,
there's different types of confidence. So like the question you asked was very, very broad. There's multiple different types. Like I know this guy, when he has confidence, he's thinking looks.
Yeah.
I know you're probably more thinking like how you bring yourself, how you talk to people, how you interact. Like the perspective, once again, everyone's going to perceive that question completely differently.
Yeah.
It will be a bit more specific in what terms of confidence.
So
confidence can come in all sorts of shapes and sizes.
Yeah, so I mean, overall, whatever came to your mind instantly when I said confidence. Because, for example, when I think confidence, like you said, I think how I come across, how I bring myself, and how I, just in general, how I do things. So I find it when I do things, when I'm at that level of confidence, it's beneficial. I'm gonna film a video about confidence.
Yeah, I feel like with confidence, the output of confidence will always be the same. Someone will be able to tell when you're walking next to someone who feels confident and is confident. But then it's the difference is what brings you the confidence.
Yeah,
And
like
then,
because confidence for me back in the day, having goals, having a lot of goals on my phone, being with a lot of goals gave me confidence. But that to me now is like what don't kill.
That's a classic boy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Classic teenage boy
but that's what I mean, isn't it? You move.
Yeah.
It's
and with
just
your
different
life
at different
experiences,
stages,
you
isn't it?
get to different points and different stages in your own life, and then you just learn in it. And then through going through things, you find out different things can bring you that confidence. Like what you're saying, if you do something and you're proud of what you've done, you're gonna have confidence the rest of the day in terms of like, I did this, and I'm proud of what I did, and I'm proving to myself that I'm that person, and I have confidence in myself that I can become who I want to become.
That's straight facts. Like you look back to the trading time, for example, that first week, I'll tell you, we're both the happiest, most confident, most talkative individuals. After any form of slip, mood's changed.
Yeah.
Like that's something me. I know my achievements drive me similar to your running. I had fucking amazing week reselling last week. Great revenue. Bro, I was gassed.
You feel like you're on top of the world,
like,
innit?
Come on, I've done something.
I know what you mean.
I've done something.
Same with like as I mentioned earlier, like when I was doing my business stuff, yeah, I felt on top of the world. I'd walk into college, I'd sit in that college classroom thinking, these guys have no idea what I'm doing behind the scenes, innit?
Yeah.
Who I'm dealing with behind the scenes on these
course.
calls, on these meetings, what I'm working on. And the minute some of that fell through, the minute it didn't, I messed up at one point.
Apart, you know.
But that's a beautiful feeling.
Exactly.
Because you know what, for me at least, I sit back and this is the important bit when that happens, because it's bound to happen. Like you're bound to have those fails where you don't make as much money.
Naturally.
But then for you, for example, you recently have to ask yourself, okay, why was this week not as good as the previous weeks, right?
That's exactly what happened. The revenue was good. It wasn't as good as it was.
But
what
why?
did I do? Cop this. But then this has already given me a fucking setback. So
It's right. Set back,
it's
and
one
move
of them.
forward.
Then you live, you learn from every lesson.
I feel-
the only way to go is forward type thing.
I feel like the best thing about confidence, like the best way to always have confidence, is not to have your confidence on external things which can vary, but then something like I feel when you see people that are walking around and you see them confident, then you see videos of people asking, what makes you confident? And then when they say stuff like Jesus or
That-
God.
Internal.
Exactly.
But also for the internal things, it is things like, because the reason why running has an impact on my confidence is because I don't feel like running, but I run because I know it's good for me, right? So it's no matter how I feel, I do the thing that's good for me, which gives me confidence that I can do whatever I want,
Yeah.
no matter how I feel. But it's not just running. For example, business as well. Do you know what I mean? But that was a bit of a more external aspect. But it's more like what I do. If I wake up early, if I'm out the bed straight away, if I'm having a productive day, that gives me confidence because it's something I control, as compared to if like goals, which is more external, stuff like that. But I think, like you mentioned briefly just now, Jesus, I think that's where the confidence can stem from as well, because at the end of the day, it's God's plan.
Exactly. Like a lot of times before, when I was like deep in the smoking stage and all of that sort of things, my confidence levels then was so low because I had no trust in myself to that point.
Yes.
That I can become who I really wanted to become.
Trust in yourself.
Exactly.
That's confidence.
Because my confidence would come from other random stupid shit. Like, oh, I could smoke a 3-5 in a day. Like, that's stupidity.
No,
and when you think back then, like, yeah, that's so cool. Now it's like, that's the most stupid thing. Like, how am I feeling proud of myself for that? But then, like, the other point I was going to say is, like, if you have your I had no confidence to that point because I was just smoking. I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't getting nowhere. Second, I put my faith in God. Then it's like, okay, cool. I have confidence that God can do this for me. And I always have confidence that he can help me, and his way is always the way.
That's right.
And when you have confidence in God, that automatically gives you confidence because you know, okay, cool. If I trust his plan, I am confident that his plan will be the right way. So then that's an internal thing that you can always walk around with the confidence, knowing that trusting in God's plan, you will make it someday in some formal way. So that's something recently that gives me confidence. Like, okay, cool, property thing. We didn't manage to patent that one deal, which looked really good in the moment. but we missed it. Okay, cool. I still have confidence in my company because I know I'm putting that in God's hands.
Mm.
And I know He will do what He has to do in the way that He wants will be the way that it will be.
Yeah.
And I have confidence that because of that, it will be successful and it will go well.
So with that as well, though, it's also obviously I'm not saying you do this, but it's also important to not just not leave it in all of it in God's
Of
arms,
course.
but you have to put in the work as well.
Yeah, of course.
God will steer the ship, but you got to do the rowing.
Yeah, exactly.
So for example, like I at one point, man, like when I first 15, 16, there was a time where I knew I was going to be successful, but I wasn't doing anything about it. Right, like I was just sitting in bed, you know, scrolling, just doing normal activities that a 16-year-old would do, and going out with friends. But I still had that thought about I'm gonna be successful, but that's not the right way to be, right? You should have this thought that you should be successful, but you actually have to make sure that your days add up.
Exactly,
Because,
you can have the confidence, but then you're not gonna feel the confidence if you're not doing enough. If you know you're just lying around, you're not gonna have the confidence that God's randomly gonna give you a lottery ticket one day that you're gonna win big and be a millionaire. That's not gonna. You get the confidence from trusting God, knowing that you're doing what you have to do, and leaving the results in His hands.
And
but
I think
you're working towards that goal. And I feel like when you're saying about the confidence, like that turning point, I feel like it was more like a gradual point. Since I started, it was like, okay, cool. I know for me, getting to work every day, I have to be at work 11 a.m. That means at least waking up at 9 a.m. Compared to before, that's a big difference for me. And every time that I actually wake up and I get to work at the time, that gives me confidence, okay? Because that gives me confidence that I'm building the discipline to become who I need to become. I'm building, it gives me the confidence. I'm building myself to be what I want.
I think, you know, with a discipline as well, what is I think we all know what the right thing to do is. Because look, we're all three of us are on this journey of success, and I'm sure we all have thoughts where, okay, I know I should do this, but I feel like doing this. Like I know I should get out of my bed now, but I just chill for 10 minutes. I got a bit more time. Now, discipline is picking the right option.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think it's hearing that voice in your head which tells you what the right thing to do is, and not just throwing it off to the side and doing it. Because look, we're all guilty of it. I know I am. Yeah, I know 100% I am. Like this morning, I spent 20, 30 minutes in bed just chilling instead of actually going. Do you know what I mean? I could have filmed the video at home before linking you guys, before meeting up with you guys. But because I did that 20, 30 minutes in bed, I had to didn't give myself enough time. I had to eat breakfast, get ready, so on, so on. So you see, like even me to this day, I'm still guilty of it, but it's something that it's gradual as well. You can't with these things, innit? With like progress and self-improvement business, as much as you want things to happen overnight, and as much as I have the mentality that I'm gonna make it happen overnight, 50% of the time it don't happen overnight. 50% of the time, it's like 2 weeks of gradual progress, like 1 day on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 3 days off, 3 days on, 2 days off. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like gradual, but it's every day a little bit better. Yep. And those add up, just like your days add up. What you do each day add up, and that's no excuse for if you're doing good. Yeah, for a viewer who's watching this, that's no excuse to if you're doing, let's say, 80% of your day really good stuff, and you still got that 20%. That's no excuse to think to yourself, oh, it's all right, you know, I'm doing 80% good. Antosh just told me it's going to happen over time, so I'm just going to allow the 20%. No, still have that mentality that 20% is not good. I need to be 100% good in terms of like 100% productive for my day. I need to get 100% of my day right. And obviously, getting 100% of your day right would be different for someone else. For you, for me, for you, it can all look differently. But that's what it is. Understanding what your journey is and staying true to yourself. And only through that, I think, breeds real confidence, like we were talking about. Because I can tell you, go on a 20k run. But if running is something that you got in the bag and it's not something that's going to push you mentally, and it's not something that you actually come across yourself and deep down you want to do, then it won't have the same impact as something else that you could occupy that time with that you don't want to do because it's too hard, but you know would be good for you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
it's about actually understanding, and I think this is also another thing that people don't understand who they are. people don't spend enough time with their own thoughts and thinking. Henry Ford, I've said this like 3, 4, 5 times on my social media now. Henry Ford has a quote, which is one of the best quotes I've ever heard. He says, thinking is the hardest job in the world. Hence why most people don't engage with it. And it is true. Just by thinking about things, you get so many answers to so many things. Just by thinking about, should I eat McDonald's? Well, okay, let me think. McDonald's, okay, you know, I spend X amount of money. You know, it's cheaper than going to a bit of a healthier place if I'm eating out, but
It's convenient.
it's convenient. Okay, but at the same time, hold on, it's probably filled with loads of additives like toxins that will not help me. It's going to make me more fat. It's going to slow my brain speed down. It's going to make me ugly. It's going to, you know what I mean? If you're what's the word? If you're a common McDonald's eater, you're a bum. Simple. Just swear it down. Yeah, you are a bum. And so put down the McDonald's and eat some steak, innit?
Yeah. Like, in life, like, I can imagine for a lot of people, if they don't reach the 100% of the day successful, that can bring them down. But that's where the true confidence lies. Like, even though you don't reach 100% of your day, but you have the confidence to try again tomorrow
and I think
actually go for it.
What I've noticed though is the minute I don't have that, like, check if it's still recording. Yeah? How many minutes we on? How many?
20.
Oh yeah, we still got like 10 minutes. So I think for me, is what I've realized is when I think to myself, okay, I'm doing good, that's when I kind of slip up. If I don't have that mentality of need to do better always, like I purposely try and find things I do wrong in my day, or like beat myself up mentally, because it boosts me further. Now, I'm not saying that's going to work for you or anyone watching, but that's what works for me. But the minute I think, oh, I look at myself in the mirror as, Antosh, you're doing good, man. You had a really good day today. You had a really good week. I tend to subconsciously just kind of get at the pedal. So you always need to be hungry for more. And the only way I think that hunger gets built for me is by literally beating myself down mentally, by literally like having the mental conversation sometimes with myself. Antosh, you're a bum. You need to do better. What is going on? Do you know what I mean? You need to always be expecting more from yourself.
And for a lot of people, that sort of mindset, because they have no faith in anything, not even themselves, that leads them to depression, because they know they're being a bum. They know, oh, I'm being a bum doing this.
But depression,
they have no thrive in themselves. They have nothing, and even though they want it and they know they're not doing good enough, they're like, oh, I'm a failure. And then after, again, they don't have the confidence to even try, because they're like, I'm just going to fail and make myself more upset. Then they start bedrotting, then they start doing this. Even if it's not depression, they then put themselves in the worst mental spot, because they're just telling themselves, I can't do it. I tried the one time, I can't do it.
I think the mental state, even having conversation like this, I've gotten to the point where I feel the difference after I've had a productive conversation like this, compared to if I've watched like a Netflix episode. My brain, my mental state, the frequency of your brain, literally the frequency and the mental state that your mind is in is completely different.
Yeah.
Like the way my brain operates, I feel my brain feels so much better after having a conversation like this, compared to if I was having a conversation like we were earlier about your brother, innit?
Yeah.
The reason why I cut that conversation off, because I could already feel my brain frequency dropping. I swear it down. It's mad, isn't it?
Of course.
But that comes with everything. And I think that's another huge, you need to watch what you actually do throughout your day. The content you watch, what you watch, is, for me, that's massive. That's why I've tried to, and I've succeeded in it. If I do go on Instagram, but the content I absorb on Instagram is content that literally makes me want to put my phone down and go work harder. So I go on Instagram for maybe 3 minutes. I watch 12 reels, because 3 minutes, 15-second reels. I watch 12 reels and I'm like, okay, I'm being a bum. I need to put my stuff down. But that only happened because the stuff I'm watching is telling me I'm a bum and I need to put it down and I need to go work harder. And then I'm further motivated to do it. So I think your inputs, the conversations you have, and look, if you was a weed smoker, if you was a cocaine addict and you was working a 9 to 5 and you was 30 and we were all 30 and we were bums, these conversations, we wouldn't have them.
Of course.
So you need to surround yourself with people, even if they're not at the same level of on the same level of the journey that you're on. So let's say they're further ahead of you on your journey, or you're further ahead of them. If you still have productive conversations like this, they're good people to have around you.
Yeah, and I feel like another great thing to build the confidence in yourself is a lot of people, they have wins, but they see, oh, it's not good enough, it's not good enough.
And that's good. I think that's good.
It's good to have wins and be like, oh, it's not good, but then at the same time, then deep everything. Like before, I used to do everything, bro. There'll be times you let me, I was on cat. There'll be times of this. I could have so easily went down that path and it'd been fucked up. I took myself, then I thought, nah.
But that's the beauty of it, because you have the moments rare where you look back on videos of you, or you look back on old footage of you, and you're like, damn, I changed. But it's like if we were linking each other every day 24/7, our meetups wouldn't be as special as they are if it's once a week or once a month. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
so it's almost like that nostalgic moment when you look back. It's special because you don't do it often.
yeah, like, I feel like it's be proud of your wins, but
stay hungry.
Be proud, exactly. Like, be proud of your wins, but then, like, I'm trying to think of a way to put it. Like, don't be just content with those wins. Just because you got a win, okay, now I'm done. Nah, be proud. Obviously, acknowledge your win and be proud of it, and be like, okay, I did this, I can do more. But don't just be like, okay, I did this, I'm done now.
Yeah, you got. Yeah. You always have to. That's what I mean. You got to stay hungry. Once you achieve a goal, you got now. It's time for another one, because. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like I'm trying to think of an example in my own life actually when this has happened, because I know it has happened. Like where I've reached something I wanted to reach, and I've taken my foot off the pedal, and I like, for example,
because you're just proud of the win. Yeah, I won. Okay, cool. Now I'm done.
Now I'm a winner. I can chill out now. Do you know what I mean? But
then you're gonna stay how you are. Like, you're a winner. Okay, but you're a millionaire winner where you want to be. You're not there. Yeah, you're a winner, but you're not that winner.
And they say,
so don't stop there. You get me?
So I think also they say comparing yourself to
comparison is the thief of joy.
It is, but you know what it is, yeah. If I compare, this is something different, but still on the same topic. If I was to compare myself to the average 18-year-old, I think I would be very proud of myself. But now, if I compare myself to the people I'm actually competing against in this game, which is other 18-year-olds who are already bringing in 100k a month, 200k a month, who are already millionaires, mate, I'm a bum. I got to work more.
Exactly.
So I think comparison can be good if you use it wisely, because look, I can compare myself, like I said, to the average Joe who goes out every weekend, goes down to the pub with his mates, works some random job.
Yeah, and be like, yeah, I'm good enough.
Yeah, I'm sick now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm the
like,
guy.
I'm doing better than him. And that makes me calm.
Yeah,
no,
and it's not the right way. And you have to.
And then another thing is that no humans aren't robots. Everyone will have their own different paths. Because I deeped a lot of people. They will see people going their own way. Like, they'll see David Goggins. He got big by doing this. He saw someone getting big by doing this. But then you have to deep. Everyone has their own way, their own roots, their own journey. Like, you can't copy exactly to the T someone else's journey and expect the same to work for you.
100%. I feel like you have to almost become your own. I'd call it, you have to become your own artist.
Yes.
Creativity. Like, the thing that I've been thinking about recently. You're not gonna get big off copying someone else. Like, you see when all these kids that follow TikTok money making trends. Dropshipping, this, that, whatever. It's not original. You're not going to do anything like that. If you want to be making something like the generational wealth that we've been talking about,
you got to do something else.
You need a creatively thinking mind to actually build something unique. You need something, not necessarily one of a kind, but something different.
Yeah.
It's less following a trend. So, like, obviously, idolize people, look up to other people, but you're never going to be that person.
Yeah.
You're going to be yourself.
Yeah.
It's just you.
You know, as an example, if we look at like some of the people who seem to do really well recently, Luke Belmar, Andrew Tate, David Goggins, John Jones.
Luke Belmar, that like Johnny Walker guy.
Yeah. John Jones, Joe Rogan. They're all some of the greats of our time now, in terms of like they've inspired millions, they've done really good things, they're rich, they're doing good in life. However, are they good people? Who knows? But that's a topic for different. But they're all their own characters. So you have to establish your own character. And obviously, as you progress, you'll define that character better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's actually staying true to yourself and authenticity.
Yeah. Like, everyone will have their own blueprint. You're no point using someone else's blueprint and expecting the same to work for you. Because then you do that, like, well, especially these courses. Someone else did this exactly in this way. Let me copy it. Oh, boo-hoo, it doesn't work for me because that's not compatible with who I am. Then you're like, oh, maybe I'm just not built for it. Maybe I'm not made for it just because
that self-doubt is...
Exactly.
It's not...
And that's a different... Like, when you have self-doubt in yourself and you're not confident enough to deflect it and be like, no, I failed and I can carry on. But you're like, I failed and now I'm a failure. I failed. Now, what's the point of me carrying on? I did it and I failed. At least I tried. Boo-hoo, I failed. I'm maybe not built for that. Then the
At least
people
I
that
tried.
come, the people that come after that, like the output and the results of someone with that mindset, look around, bro. That's 90% of the people. They think, okay, cool, I'm gonna try to do this. Even college, it's like I tried college, I'm still not built for it. Maybe I'm just built to be a bum. Maybe I'm just built to work at Primark the rest of my life. Or
Oh, what's that guy's name? Hold on. The guy. You ever seen that guy? I'm trying to think how you would see the marketing guy. Oh, what's his name? Alex Hormozy. I think Alex Hormozy. Have you always heard of him?
Their name sounds familiar, but
So he's like a mark. He's got acquisition.com. He's got his own gym line. Anyway, before he hit his successful business that made it successful, I think he went through 10 businesses that all went bankrupt. Now imagine one business.
Yeah, I think I've heard of him.
One business, you give it your all, think this is the one. This is the one. This is the one. It fails. You've lost all your money. You've pretty much gone bankrupt. He done that 9 times, and people give up after one. That is how you build success, because sometimes your journey is going to be so much different to others.
Yeah.
For me, I know if I'm picking up skills, if I need to learn a skill, I know I need to work so much harder than everyone else, because I don't know what it is about me. Yeah, I've found that compared to this, I know some people who they can learn something very quick. They can pick up a skill very quick. They play football a couple times. They're sick at football. They do martial arts a couple times. They're sick at martial arts. They're just naturally talented at certain things. Me, certain things I am naturally talented in, but certain things I'm not. And with those certain things I'm not, I know I need to work twice as hard to be that good. And same with business. Someone will start a business. Their second business will be the one that sends it off for them. Their first e-commerce a business dropshipping idea is going to be the one that sends it off for them. They're going to make 100k. Some people go have 20 different e-commerce sites to make 10k. And it's part of your journey, and you just got to embrace it.
Yeah.
But those battle scars actually build you into
exactly.
who you are.
Like that's what you're saying is perfect about the guy who he failed 9 times and succeeded the 10th time. But then what I'm saying, like, just because he made 9 businesses and all 9 businesses went bankrupt and he failed 9 times, doesn't mean you have to fail 9 times in making businesses. It could be for other things. Like if I relate to me, I tried the trading. I got to a point where I low-key failed myself. My expectations, I failed. And I'm like, if I stopped there, like, maybe I'm just not built for it. Then what would I have done? I would have been chilling at home, probably busting a nut, moving like a joke, man. Like, that's being real, and that's the reality
true.
for a lot of people out there. But then, like, if I use it, like, don't other people's journeys, anything, don't try to copy it, but take their lessons. He failed 9 times and he carried on. I failed the trading, cool, what do I do next? I'm like, okay, I want to do this. I went, cool, even the golf thing, Loki fell through, cool, failed, okay, cool, doesn't mean I'm going to give up on my shit. Cool, carry on. And for me, in my journey, those are failures where I could have gave up at. Like, the way he could have gave up after 2 businesses, those 2 examples, like, just as examples, I could have gave up after those. But it's not exactly how his, but the same principle applies, and it's going to be different for every single person. So just because your journey is not exactly how someone else's is, doesn't mean you're on the wrong path.
Yeah, that's very true. All right, because the video, I don't know how long the video is, might be too long. But look, we'll wrap up now, just from all 3 of us. What's one thing you want to take, that's something you've learned from your own progress and your own journey? What's one thing you want to tell someone in the video?
Send it. Don't be a pussy. Take the risk. Put yourself out there. If you don't do it today, you won't do it tomorrow.
Yeah. It can never start tomorrow. It has to always start today.
Tomorrow never comes.
Make your own one though, innit?
And then like I was just going on that. But then what was I gonna say? It was something like,
you had a very good one about your own journey and that.
Yeah, like with your own journey, always know that you're not a robot and you are yourself. Everyone is a unique, different person. You're made the way you're made for a reason. Use that for your advantage. Don't just try to copy someone else. You get me? Don't try and follow someone else's footsteps, and make your own footsteps and inspire other people to do the same.
Both of them are very valid. And my one is become confident. In the terms, become confident in your abilities. Like he said, you have to have that feeling like you're destined for it. Like you're special. Yeah, not special, but like you're actually meant to
'Cause
achieve
you're not
everything.
average.
And
You're not
also-
average.
But
No
you
one's
can
average.
be. But it's your decision whether you want to be average or not.
And
And-
find what brings you confidence. Take your little wins. Don't stop there though. You can accept your wins. Any little thing you do, even getting up out of bed earlier than yesterday, that's a win. But don't stop there just because you got a win.
Every day, get competent, not complacent. There you go. Lucas da Costa,
Oh.
thank you very much for joining
No
me.
problem.
Jude Walsh.
My guy, big
Boys,
push.
we see you at the top. You're coming with us. Look after yourself, guys.
Cheers,
Look, you ready
guys.
for the clicker? Let's see if it works.
Well-
Sometimes it don't work.
Just cut out there.